we're going to make a Spigot Minecraft plugin today. And here is a little bit of an outline of how we're going to do that. So this is the exact file structure that we're going to be going for. So there's a few important files here. We have this pom.xml. This is going to be essential. This file is going to have information about how to turn your entire project into a single jar file. So we will fill that in with data later. This file structure here in source, we're going to have a main folder, Java, and next to it we'll have a resources folder. Then we will have com, and then you can have your own package name. I usually just name it my name, Cookie, but you can name it whatever you'd like. And then this will be the folder for the actual plugin. Inside of that, you'll need the main.java, and you can have other classes as well, but we'll start with just a main.java. We'll make a very basic plugin here with just one class. The other important file here is in this resources folder, and it's plugin.yml. And this will have information about the plugin itself, like the name of the plugin, the version of the plugin, and other information about it as well. We have this pom.xml, we have the plugin.yml, we have the main class, and the file structure around it as well. And we're going to be generating that brand new for our own plugin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this blank folder I've created here for the new plugin I'm going to create. I'm going to open this with VS Code. You can use other IDEs like IntelliJ or other stuff like that, but I like VS Code. And here's what we're going to do. So we are going to right-click down here in this empty folder, and we are going to go to Maven New Project. So Maven is actually a program. Maven is going to read the pom.xml, and with that, it's going to take all that information and it will compile our entire project into a single jar file, which will go into this target folder, which we will also have. So to begin a Maven-based project, we need to tell Maven to create a new project, and we have a lot of different archetypes to start with here. So these are all basically like templates for Maven projects. This first one here is very basic. It's going to have basically nothing, but we need a little bit more for our Minecraft plugin. And in fact, interestingly enough, if we type Minecraft and we hit more, this right here is a template made by this developer, and it's basically going to create a simple Minecraft plugin, a basic Minecraft plugin for us. It's going to create most of this file structure that we're going for here, with some extra files in there as well, which we'll once we generate it, we'll modify it a little bit. But it's a great place to start because it basically fills in a lot of that blank information that, like in the pom XML, and it creates all of this file structure for us. It's very useful. So we're going to start with that. So I'm going to go ahead and select it. We just pick whatever version of that template. And here's where we're going to actually create the directory and package for our Java project. So com is a great place to start for the highest domain. And now we're going to make a package name. So this is going to not be the name of the plugin. This is kind of the name of your own package that will contain all of your work. So you can name it your own name. Or if you're in an organization, you can name it your organization name or something like that. But this is not the name of the plugin. This is the name of your group or package. I'm going to name it Cookie. And now this is the name of your actual plugin. So I'm going to name this plugin just tutorial plugin. Tutorial plugin. Press enter. It's going to ask me for a folder. Of course, I'll just leave it in the folder I already created. And then down here, we're going to get prompted for a couple more pieces of information. It wants a version number. The default is this 1.0-snapshot. We're just going to leave it as the default. Press enter. And then it's going to ask yes or no, and we're just going to say enter. Perfect. So now it just generated a lot of files here, and we're going to see them all. So the pom.xml already filled in with a ton of information. Very, very useful. So we're gonna make some changes to it, of course, but very useful. We'll open this source folder and we'll see it's got main and test. We don't need the test folder here at all. I'm going to get rid of it. Anyways, you can ignore it or get rid of it. Doesn't even matter. But the main important part here is the main folder with, of course, the Java and the resources folder. If I look in resources, we have a plugin.yml. Let's take a look at what's inside there. And it has important information, a lot of the basic important information here, like the name of our plugin, the path to where the main file is. which is going to be in Java, com, cookie, and then plugin.java. We're going to modify a little bit of this. This version here is actually the version of your plugin. So it doesn't even matter what it is. You can just leave it as 1.0 snapshot. If you make updates to your plugin, you can change the version to whatever version numbering convention you want for your own plugin. But it does not matter what's here. 1.0 is a pretty good starting point. But this is important. This API version is going to tell exactly what version of Minecraft we're building this for. So I'm going to be making this for 1.21.6, so I will change the API to 1.21. We don't need the most minor version here, we just need 1.21, that will suffice. I'm going to go back to the POM, because also in the POM, we need to tell it which version of Minecraft we're looking for as well, and this will be the specific version of Minecraft. So I'm going to change this to 1.21.6, and hopefully this is the exact rest of the version number for that specific version of Minecraft, which I believe it is. So we'll just leave 1.21.6. Now, Maven will be able to build our project because it knows which version of Minecraft we're getting our code from. It knows where to find the Spigot code because we've told it what repository. This was already filled in for us, by the way, from this template. Very useful. And our plugin knows what version it's also being built for as well. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. So from these two files alone, especially this right here, our VS Code is actually going to now know all of the API for Spigot. So now I'm going to go over to our actual main plugin file. Right now it is called plugin. You can also name it main, like I had in my other example project, but plugin is fine. Most importantly though, it should extend Java plugin. And that comes from the actual Bukkit package, which our VS Code should know about because of the pom.xml. If your VS Code has this highlighted in red, it means something went wrong with this pom.xml and it did not actually find the API at this address. And you can fix that by a quick little restart of your VS Code. That should probably fix it. Here's some basic stuff in our main plugin. So we don't actually even need it. I'm actually going to get rid of it. And I'm going to get rid of this as well, and this as well. We're just going to make a basic plugin that's just going to print a little message when it gets enabled, just so that we can show that we set up this plugin correctly. I'll just print a little message like enabling the tutorial plugin. This should happen and get printed when we start up our Minecraft server and the Minecraft server finds our plugin and loads it correctly. If the plugin gets loaded correctly, we should see this message be printed. So let's go ahead and actually compile our plugin. So to compile a Maven project, we already have the pom.xml filled with all the information about how and where to create our jar file. We just have to tell Maven to do so. So I'm going to scroll down here. There's a little tab down here called Maven. I'm going to open that. And we'll see it found our tutorial plugin. It did so by finding the pom.xml. If we open that, there's a lot of options here. We're going to go to Lifecycle. And there's a lot of options. Clean will basically delete our compiled project. That's good if there's ever any errors with your project. But what we want is install or package. So it doesn't really matter. Let's just hit install. And when I press this, we're going to see a bunch of stuff. So it did have a compilation error. Okay, so I found out what that issue was. And it looks like this template that we used had an older version for Maven set in the pom.xml to 1.7. So we are just going to actually change that to like 1.8. We just need to set it to at least above 1.7. And let's try compiling it again. So now I've done that. I'm going to save this full file as well. Make sure you save it. Right? I'm going to do a make clean here. This way it will reset everything in target. Right? The target file will disappear now. That's okay. That will just make sure that when we install it this time, it'll be completely from scratch. Now let's install again. And it looks like it worked perfectly. So now we open target and we have a bunch of stuff here, but most importantly is our plugin. What we can do is actually bring that to our Minecraft server. So I'm going to go ahead and have that right here, I'm going to go ahead and open a Minecraft server, and I'm going to bring this plugin into it. Okay, so here what I have is I've made my Minecraft server. I have all the files here ready for it in a plugins folder. And this is my compiled jar that we made earlier. I'm going to drag that into my server. And then I am going to start up the server. So this is my command prompt where I have my server folder ready. I'm going to run the command here to start the server. We should see the server load up. I'll make it big as well. And in there, we should see the print statement that we put for our plugin for when it gets enabled. So that should happen near the end here. And if we look through here, do we see that our plugin was enabled? I don't believe we did. So to check real quick if there is a plugin in the server, we can go ahead and type plugins. And there are no plugins. So it didn't find our plugin. So we're going to go back and debug this a little bit. We're going to figure out why it didn't discover our plugin. Okay, so the problem here is actually in this plugin.waml that was generated by this template. This template showed the path to the main plugin file as this, but that isn't actually correct. So in fact, it's just com.cookie.plugin. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to, we could either delete this from here, right? Or we can actually make that folder, and I think I will make that folder. So I'm going to right click and do new folder, and I'm going to name it exactly that, tutorial plugin. And I will put the main plugin in that folder. And everything should be reconstructed here. It should have changed the package to match this address. And that should be the only change we need to make for our plugin to be set up correctly. So let's go ahead and try recompiling this. So of course I'm going to do clean first. You don't have to clean every time, but I like to, just to make sure that everything works. I'm going to install again. Perfect, everything worked. So let's go back to our server. So we have the target folder with our new plugin. We'll put it into our server, replacing the old plugin as well. Replace. This is the newer version of our plugin. And we're going to start up our server again. So I'll go ahead and run this again. I'll make it full screen, and we'll actually wait and see if we see the print statement now when the plugin gets enabled. And look at that, it's right here. So at the very end, the plugins get enabled, and we can see enabling our plugin. And then this was actually our print statement right here, enabling the tutorial plugin. That was exactly our print statement. And if we type plugins now, we'll see that our plugin is loaded. So that is the basics of setting up your plugin project, compiling it, and then putting it over to the server. So if you have any questions or you ran into any of your errors yourself, feel free to leave any of those messages in the comments. And yeah, good luck making your plugins. I hope that you all have creative ideas and make wonderful things. Thank you for watching.